What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I asked you on my Instagram to submit questions for an IGTV Q&A. If you haven't checked that out, then make sure that you go do that first. But you guys submitted so many questions about my career and my job and what I have going on in my life right now. So for this YouTube video, I wanted to really focus in on those questions. And before we get started, guys, let me know in the comments below, what is your current job? And if your job isn't your dream job, then what is your dream job? Let me know in the comments. So first question, how has it been after leaving 2K and what are you doing now? So I get this question probably daily, and it's completely understandable because I know that you guys were used to seeing me in NBA 2K every single week. And you know, since then it's definitely been like a bit of a transition year for me, but things are going well. I am still working. I know that you guys don't see everything that I'm doing, but there's been a lot of stuff that I've filmed with overtime over this past year that actually won't start rolling out until next month. So that's something to kind of get excited about and look forward to. Another thing is I will be starting a podcast very soon. We are just getting all of those details finalized. And guys, if you don't work in the production world, I'll let you know that things take time over here in entertainment land. And so we've been planning the podcast for a while. It's just taking a little bit of time to get everything off the ground and get it started. You know, at the same time, I've been doing different brand deals here and there on my social media accounts and on my YouTube channel. I've been traveling a lot, and yeah, I'm just trying to stay busy. So hopefully I can, you know, keep you guys updated when new videos and show series that I'm doing are coming out. But yeah, stay tuned for that. How do you prepare for an interview? All right, so what I like to do, first of all, is research who I'm going to be talking to and also what topics that I want to discuss with this person. And then next, what I'll do is I'll write down all of my interview questions that I want to ask at some point during the interview, but I don't necessarily worry so much about the order of the questions. I'll kind of organize them based on the different topics, but the order I don't so much worry about. And then when I am researching and preparing for the interview, if it's the night before or a couple days before, what I like to do is just keep looking over those questions over and over and almost like memorizing them in a way, because how I like to approach my interviews, I don't like having note cards. I don't like having my questions in front of me. I think it kind of takes away from the interview being personal, and I like to walk into my interview as it's just like a discussion with another person. And so for me to do that, I just need to make sure that I know what topics I want to discuss. I know what kind of answers that I want to hear from the other person, but at the same time, I definitely like to leave the conversation open, because sometimes you never know where the conversation will go. Somebody could bring up something that you totally weren't expecting, and if you're just sticking with the strict questions that you had written on your paper, you might glance over something that could be really good content and a really meaningful moment in the interview. So for me, I just like to make sure I'm prepared in the topics and research, but I go into the interview with an open mind and like, I don't know, just treat that person as like I'm having coffee with a friend. Which interview on 2K TV was your best? So there's this one interview that I had, I'm not gonna say the person's name, but this person actually had a speech impediment. And I knew this going into the interview, and I had never met this person before, but I knew that they weren't so comfortable in front of the camera. And when I got into the interview, I kind of realized that right away, that this person was definitely having trouble having the most basic conversation with me. But I think that interview was the most rewarding to me, because I did find a way to like strategically make this person feel comfortable and really help them get through the interview to where they felt so confident at the end. And then we ended up, you know, speaking to the person who represented them after, and they said that, you know, the person I interviewed was super excited about it and thought that it went really well. So for me, that was just really rewarding, being able to bring out the best in that person, when normally being in front of the camera and doing interviews is like the scariest thing in the world to them. So that was probably my favorite and my best. Do you ever think you will cover the NBA or WNBA as a sports broadcaster? So I also get this question a lot, and I know a lot of you guys would love to like see me on the sidelines or, you know, in the booth at ESPN and whatnot, but I've actually never wanted to be a sportscaster, a commentator, a sideline reporter. That stuff to me just isn't so fun. I've done a couple jobs here and there, but end game, that's kind of not where I want to be. I would love to see myself doing something that's more like a talk show or a morning show or something that encompasses even more than just sports. As much as I love sports and I feel like my life is definitely anchored in athletics and in sports, I have so many more things that I'm super passionate about and I love talking about. So just to kind of pigeonhole myself into like a sideline job, just, I don't know, it's just not that fulfilling to me. So no, I don't see myself doing those kind of things, but definitely will continue in the sports space for a while and see what comes about. If you had to do it all over again, would you play college basketball or concentrate early on with stuff you're doing now? So if you guys didn't know, I actually did stop playing college basketball during my first season at Old Dominion. And this decision for me was because I did want to focus on my career. I realized when I got to Old Dominion, which is a very big Division I basketball school for women, and especially at the time that I was there, I didn't have the time to really study the things that I wanted to, major in the field that I wanted to. And I also, like my freshman year, I got an internship at ESPN Radio, and I wasn't even able to do that because it didn't fit in with my practice schedule. So for me, I knew that I never wanted to play professional basketball, and it was kind of that time that I wanted to really like dive into my career, study what I wanted to, do all the internships, do all the, you know, side jobs and freelancing and all of those kind of things. So that is essentially why I made the decision to step away from basketball. If I had to do it all over again, I don't know if I would change anything because I grew so much from that experience. But yeah, definitely for what I wanted to do, playing Division I basketball, at least at that school, was standing in the way for me of accomplishing my career goals. During your journey, I'm sure that like the rest of us, you felt like you wanted to quit either because you thought your goal was too high or because you hit a plateau. My question is, where did you go and what did you do to get inspired? How'd you muster the grit to keep on going to be successful? So I think we're all gonna go through times where we have like a burnout phase. I actually did a whole video on this on my YouTube channel if you wanna check that out. But you know, it's burnout, there's slow times, especially in entertainment. There's a lot of uncertainty because the industry changes so quickly with the way that media is now, with the way, you know, that TV and digital are changing almost daily. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that stuff can make you feel really insecure and also be discouraging at times if you're not getting as much work that you used to get, or, you know, some months I'll be really, really busy and have tons of shoots and a lot of work going on, and then the very next month I almost have nothing. So I feel like just in those times, my biggest advice would be to keep learning. So what I like to do is I love reading books, reading from people who are also successful, and I like reading books that are written by people who are successful in a bunch of different fields. So not just people in entertainment, but, you know, business owners, entrepreneurs, really just across the board. So I think number one for me, what keeps me going is continuing learning and experimenting and being creative. And another thing for me is I feel like super blessed to have an Instagram platform, a Twitter platform, a YouTube platform, because those are all mine. I own that. And so if I'm ever having a slow time, I can just create content that I want to make and put that out to the world and be able to spark my creativity and hopefully inspire you guys and stay busy at the same time. So keep sharpening my skills and not just, you know, let my slow times completely bring me down. If you weren't where you are today, what would your job or life be like? So my dream has always been when I was a kid to help out animals in some way. And I feel like I definitely still have the time to do that, whether it's creating my own nonprofit or helping out other charities who, you know, help with shelter animals or environmental awareness and recovery, or if it's something, you know, where I go into a business where I'm able to, you know, help promote a vegan lifestyle or create some sort of really cool like vegan food or bars or different things like that. So I definitely have such a strong passion when it comes to animals and the environment, and I feel like I haven't tapped into that yet. And on the other side, I would love to see myself as a business owner at some point, and I think in those categories, it's something, you know, along the lines of fashion and style. Having some sort of athletic wear brand would be super fun for me. Also, like I mentioned before, having something in the vegan environmental space, whether that's owning a really cool like smoothie shop that has like really awesome protein packed smoothies and snacks and all these things that athletes, you know, can eat who are also vegan. And also the travel space is something that's really interesting to me because I do travel a lot. So whether that's creating, you know, a luggage brand or backpacks or just like different little things that you could have that could help your travels go more smoothly. So I don't know if that really answers the question, but essentially I'd see myself helping animals or owning some type of business or all of the above. But who knows, maybe I'll still have time to do all of those things that I just mentioned. I feel like I'm still pretty young. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, then make sure that you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, because I upload new videos every single week. And if you didn't already check out my IGTV Q&A, then make sure that you head over to my Instagram at DeMita and check that out too. And I'll see you guys next time.